Welcome back to Flashy Decals, everyone. In that first video you saw all of my cars, but you probably didn't see them in as good a detail as I wanted you to see them. It was more of just an introductory video. So here are my cars the way I like to see them. So first up we have the orange cars. I love orange, I love glow in the dark. So we've got a couple of duplicates here. We got the 69 Chevelle. We've got the Draftnator, two of those. That's a neon orange. Then we've got kind of this sparkly orangish, this Porsche. Got two 71s. Ford truck right here. Dodge Rampage. Mustang. Corvette C7, El Viento. Here's one of my favorites, orange and glow in the dark. Linster Prototype. 95 Mazda RX-7. This one's Chevy SSR. This Datsun 620 is kind of a burnt orange. And then I've got this Aston Martin for a special track that I don't have, so it just stays in the container here. And then the glow-in-the-dark ones, I've got a couple of this green high roller, evil-looking rubber ducky, warp speeder, cloak and dagger, another Linster Prototype, and then these glow wheels here. At some point I'd like to have a track that glows under ultraviolet light. I think that would be pretty cool. But there are my orange and glow-in-the-dark cars. You'll see some of these guys in the other sets that I have. Like I've got the treasure hunt ones, got some truck set, the Corvette, the American made set, another truck, and the Mazda will be in the Japanese set. This one will be in the American made. So stuff like that. You'll see these again here. Alright, here are the treasure hunts that I've got. We have the Dodge Charger Daytona, a Super Treasure Hunt Ford GT40, 69 Chevelle, got a couple of those. The Ollie Rocket, and the Twin Mill. Alright, here are the American makers, and we've got 69 Camaro, 67 Chevelle, Shelby Cobra, 67 Mustang, this kind of tuned out Dodge Charger, along with the 71 Dodge Charger. We got the Chevy Camaro, Corvette C7, Ford Mustang that you saw in the orange collection, a DeLorean, Dodge Rampage, and a rarely seen on the road Plymouth Prowler. And then coming over to the more newer ones, we have a Dodge Viper, Ford Mustang GT, Corvette C8, another Dodge Viper, newer Envision of the Pontiac GTO, and then we've got all the Ford GTs that I've found. A couple of those yellow ones there. We've got this one in the blue paint scheme. This one here is the Super Treasure Hunt that I found. Black scheme from the Gumball 3000. And a white 17 and a white 16. The 49 Ford F1. We have a Ford 56 truck. The Chevy SSR you saw in the orange collection. Military Humvee. And then the Draftinators that you saw in the orange collection as well. I only have a few of the Teslas here. I'm hoping to get the full set at some point, but we have the Model 3, the Model X, and Tesla Roadster with Starman. let's hop across the pond now, and we've got the British vehicles. We have the McLaren F1. We've got a McLaren 720S, a P1, another P1, and we've got the McLaren Senna, and a Speedtail, and another Speedtail. So those are the McLarens. Continuing with the British vehicles, we have Aston Martin. I have a few of the 177. There's that one for the special track. I don't have a special track, but it goes by and it reads this little doohickey here, and it'll tell you all about the car. And then the Vulcan. So those are the Aston Martins that I have. And then the Jaguar that started as a British company, but is now owned by an Indian company. So we have Jaguar Project 8. And another one in this metallic green paint. So that's Jaguar. Heading over to Germany now, we have Bentley with the Volkswagen Group. We've got the Continental, another one in a different scheme, and yet another one. And then the ones that were originally owned by Germany, we've got Mercedes-Benz, another one in the 500 in the paint scheme, AMG GT, and this cool metallic GT3. So there's the Germany, semi-Germany collection there. Alright, moving on to Italy, or what was Italy. We have Lamborghini. And here we have the Lamborghini Miura. Then the Countach, got that in a couple different paint schemes here. The Rambo Lambo, one of my favorites, the Diablo, the Estoque, Sesto Elemento in a couple different schemes here, and then the Gallardo, the Veneno, Murcielago, Huracan, Aventador, Centenario, and finally the Urus. Alright, moving up to Sweden now. We have two examples of the, hopefully I pronounce it correctly, Koenigsegg Jesko. And now things get a bit muddy. We have the currently owned by the Volkswagen Group, the Audis. We have the R8 Spider, another Spider, and the R8 from Matchbox. Here are the Bugattis that I have. We've got the Chiron and whatever this is, EB110. Alright, here are the Porsches. I'm not sure what order they're in. I don't know the timeline on these very well. If you want to know more about Porsches, you can head over to my buddy's channel, the Official Basket Case. He knows pretty much everything about Porsches. 71, 911, 935, 917, 918, 89, 944 Turbo, another 944, 96 Carrera, another 96 Carrera, 993 GT2, Panamera, apparently that one's an electric in real life, another Panamera, and yet another Panamera, 911 GT3, and another GT3, and a Taycan Turbo S. So there are the Porsches. And back to purely Italy, we have the Pagani in two different color schemes. Here are the Ferraris that I have. This one is the Testarossa, right there. And then this one that inspired the name for the Stradman. This one is the Challenge Stradale. Alright, jumping over to Japan now. We've got from the Orange and the Truck set, the Datsun 620, and a Mazda Savannah, Mazda RX-7. We've got a Miata, and another Miata, and then another RX-7, and a Silva. Got a GTR with a Liberty Walk kit, R390 GTI, kind of cool looking there. Nissan Leaf, electric powered. And then we have a Subaru. I won't mod this one till I'm really good, probably in a year or so. Another Subaru there. And then we have a Honda Civic, Honda S2000. Another Civic there. Acura in 2 different color schemes. So there are the Japanese vehicles that I have. Here are a couple miscellaneous ones, not sure where they would fit in. We've got the Mod Rod, the Impavido one, Ninja Turtle Party Wagon, and Formula E race car. Alright, as for the larger than Hot Wheels, these are the 136 ones that you see at the grocery store. We have the McLaren F1, Lamborghini Centenario, Porsche Carrera GT, Lamborghini Aventador, Lamborghini Urus, and a Porsche GT3 RS. My buddy over at Official Basket Case and I like to trade these back and forth. So these might change. You might see these over on his channel. Who knows? So there are the red and the orange ones. And the rest of the orange ones, we have a Lamborghini Huracan, Stradman Orange, Lamborghini Gallardo, Toyota BMW Supra, Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, Lamborghini Huracan, Lamborghini Veneno, and the Chevy Camaro that will be used for painting experiments. So there are the rest of the 136 size cars. Alright, and finally we have the larger, much larger than Hot Wheels in 1/32. We have a 118 Maisto 2020 Corvette. And then in the 1/24 size, this is an Acura NSX. Got this one from my buddy over at Official Basket Case channel. This one came through the store I used to work at. This one is a Bugatti Chiron. Here's a Lamborghini Aventador. That one's almost already in the same base color that the Stradman's car is, that he likes to wrap and then unwrap a few months later. So we'll see what color that one eventually becomes. Here's another of the new Corvette Stingrays. This one will probably be repainted in the Stradman's Corvette color. And I have 2 of these ones. This is the 48 Ford that is the small version of what my family member is using as a project car. And then we have this guy here. We have a Dodge Charger that's loose and more die cast. I'll be doing some experiments on painting with this guy here. He might become just a modeled psychedelic collection, we'll see. But there's that guy there. So there are the larger than Hot Wheels size vehicles that will be modified and repainted. We'll see how all that pans out. All of the Hot Wheels fit in 4 large shoe boxes, and then the larger ones I generally keep in this special K box here. I haven't even shown you all the loose ones yet. And ever since I was a kid, the only way I would organize my Hot Wheels was to put them in rainbow order. So here we are, starting with the reds. So we have Mustang, Zombot, something that doesn't have a name under it, Fast Fish, Range Rover, Torque Twister, this one doesn't have anything underneath it, Locomotorin, Side Draft, Time a Taxi, Chevy Nova Gasser, and Head Gasket. There are the red ones there. Alright, there's a few in the orange to burnt orange coloration here. We have Draftnator that you saw, but I have 2 still on the card. Hot Wheels Pursuit. This one's a Matchbox. That one's called Terrain Trouncer. Here's one of the many different colorations of the El Viento. So there are the orange ones. Alright, here are the yellows. This one is a Chevy Volt. This one's called the Super Volt. A Volkswagen Racer. And this one didn't have anything underneath it. Alright, here are the green ones. We've got the Ain't Fair big bus thing. That's really good for crashing. We've got Runway Rescue. This is a Predator. This is actually very similar to the one my brother had growing up. This one I got on eBay. You can see someone's initials under it here. DE, I think it said. But he has one or had one. I'm not sure where that one is. If it's at my parents' house, I'll pull it out so it doesn't get any more damaged. A Lotus Esprit, or Esprit, or however you say that. Opel Speedster, that one's a Matchbox. Here's a Mustang, that one's also a Matchbox. And Cliffhanger, also a Matchbox. So there are the green ones. Here are some turquoise ones. Here's a Volkswagen Golf, right there. This one is just called the Stock Car. And a Dodge Van. It's kind of a minty color. Alright, here are the blue ones. There's just some, what was that one? Highway City. Some kind of like Brinks truck almost. Big Storm. Here's a Maisto Viper. And it's got, it's offset here. I might need to do some surgery at some point on this guy's wheels. Here's one of the Soul Airs. We like to use this one as a ramp coming off and getting good air jumps out of that one. Here's a Lamborghini Urus. Here's some unnamed Hot Wheels, but it likes to come up like that, so it's also a good jumper. You get this one going down this way with some good speed. And another one like the bus here, and you get some really good air. Here's a Volkswagen Beetle and a Lamborghini Veneno. Here's another kind of bluish one that I found. They call this one the Mercy Breaker. And yet another blue one that I just found, a 57 Thunderbird. So there are the blues right there. Alright, here are the purples. We've got an Exotic. This one's the Flash Drive. Here's some kind of souped up Corvette. Doesn't say what this one is. Here is a Speed Spider. That one actually does decently well down the track. Another Super Volt. So there are the purples. And then we have the brown or bronze ones. The Governor. That one's actually pretty fast down the track. At least that guy was. 2 of the Sahara Speeders from Matchbox. And some kind of race car Cadillac. And then we come over to the silver and grays. think this one was some kind of Batmobile maybe, or something like that. It doesn't say anything on the bottom. Ragin Express. He's not all that fast. Lancia Stratos right there. This one just says Flight 03 on it. Another Sand Speeder from Matchbox. And then we have the whites. This one says Golden Arrow, though he's white, so okay, whatever that means. Surfin' School Bus. The one I gave to my nephew actually got second place. It was really fast, surprisingly. This one's High Beam. Another Beetle. This is some random one, doesn't have a name on it. This one says Pony Up. Then we have Gold Veneno here. And then we have the first victims that we will subject to the dismantling and the modification. We'll see. I have no idea what these are. These were in a bag that my previous owners of our house had. They were all in a pile in the front yard, and I noticed there were Hot Wheels and stuff in there. So this one here has a bent wheel, really bad bent wheel. So it looks like it has a plastic bottom piece. So what I've learned is you can use a soldering iron to just slowly melt the rivets here and then pull the bottom off the plastic pieces. Otherwise you have to drill out the rivets. So this guy here, can't tell, I think that's die cast. But I'll take that apart, get that paint off, and see if I can get it repainted. Here's another one. Bunch of paint missing and whatnot. Bunch of plastic looking parts. Die cast underside. Plastic underside, die cast top side, but that one doesn't work going down the track. I have no use for it, so I'll use it for a tester. And some kind of water truck. Big plastic tank there. Plastic underside. Not a lot of die cast on there. So there's the miscellaneous. Alright, here are the tools that I've learned I will need. So get these pulled out. Here's a combination magnifying glass and the little clippers to hold the cars in. You can see this kind of blue stuff here. That's actually reflecty coming off our grow lights up there. This painting tape. So I'll be using that to do like stripes and whatnot. We've got the soldering iron for the plastic bottomed vehicles. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and they say this 964 is what you use to drill out the rivets. So theoretically that's the same width of the rivets here that you just drill out, and then when you're putting it back together to get them to stay in, because you've now drilled out the rivets, what you need is super glue. And this is the one that was recommended by a couple of the YouTube channels. From what I've watched online, you drill out the rivets with these here, and then you take it all apart, get all the pieces, and then take the die cast. So that would be this top part here. And what you need to do is remove the paint. So we have the stripping gel, the stuff right here. I've seen them. All I do is just paint it on the car. It comes up, the paint comes off quite easily. I don't know how many minutes it takes or seconds. I'll have a stopwatch running when I do those videos. So you have the paint stripper. Definitely have some heavy-duty gloves. I got some more of those at Harbor Freight. And once the paint's all pulled off, you then remove any oils or finger goo or something with this degreaser. And then once you get it all prepped, you clean it off one more time. I've got the alcohol here, and then I've got a couple of the primers. Got a primer there, some kind of enamel that'll go on the very end after it's all painted. So yeah, that's all the chemicals and tools I'll be using to modify the cars. So I can't wait to get started on those. So those will all be used in my experiments. There are all the other loose cars that will be subjected to modification as I learn how to take them apart and put them back together, repaint them. That's the exciting thing that'll be going on with flashy decals this next year. Thank you for watching, everyone.